Hey everybody, this message is for the guys. I want to talk about the hard talk. I want to talk about emotions. There are a lot of guys out there who are not in touch with their emotions. Now, a guy being in touch with their emotions has a lot of negative connotations to it, but I want you, when you think about emotions, I want you to think of this example. When I watched the Chris Stapleton Super Bowl national anthem, was it like a year or two back, whatever it was, I noticed that these really strong, manly football players had tears in their eyes. That was emotions. And if anybody has seen that, I doubt that any of you looked at those guys and thought, oh, wimps. These are guys that are in touch with their emotions. These are strong men. When you feel an emotion, guys, you need to feel it. Don't bury it. See, the thing is whether you like it or not, we have a masculine side and we have a feminine side to us. Just like we have X chromosome and a Y chromosome. There's duality in everything. You need to honor that feminine aspect of yourself. It's there for a reason. Your intellect alone will not get you by in life. If you want to be successful in life, truly successful in a healthy way that'll be lasting, you need to master your emotions. That doesn't mean stifle them. It doesn't mean dominate them. That means integrate them. Make peace with them. Realize they have a use and a purpose. If you're grieving, say a loved one passes away and you're around others and you want to bury that because you feel like, oh, I need to be strong around these people. No, cry. Get it out. See, the thing is if you don't grieve or express these emotions when you have them, chances are you bury them and they can remain buried for years. And then they come out later at a really inconvenient time or in a really inconvenient, painful way. You need to make peace with yourself. You need to love yourself. You need to honor yourself. Just like you honor God and love God, you need to love yourself the same. You've heard of the golden rule. Do unto others as you'd have them do unto you. Well, there's a platinum rule. That is to love yourself and love the Creator, your Creator, whatever name it goes by, in the greatest, in your best, to the best of your ability, in a healthy and respectful way. Personally, I found by doing this, everything else in life kind of fell into place. As someone who I'm not going to say I don't identify as a Christian, but I won't say I will either, because there are certain aspects of Christianity that I still hold, that still are dear and true to me, but there are many that are not. And that's just a discussion for another time. And I forgot what I was going to say about that. Well, at any rate, don't let religion get caught up in it. Just follow that platinum rule and the golden rule. But the platinum rule, I think, supersedes the golden rule. Now, as far as emotions, guys, I know this can be tough. I grew up with a very tough, very intimidating, stoic, a lot of times angry father. And I grew up trying to emulate him. And one of the things he never did was express emotions. Never heard him say I love you. Never got hugs from him. And I grew up that way. And that cost me a lot in life. It cost me relationships. Relationships that, in hindsight, might have been good relationships to have. People who genuinely did love me, but I was too tough and too stoic to want to show those feelings, I guess. I had a lot of anger in me. A lot of us are brought up these days to believe in things like having to get even with those that disrespect us instead of forgiving. Or just not expressing emotion at all, or embracing your anger or your ego, I guess you could say. The only way you can come to the point where you can really forgive, I think, is when you start to embrace your emotions. I think if you're incapable of forgiving at this point, It's because you are hiding from those emotions, and you're hiding possibly from healing yourself. It's not just a one cycle process. You can't just focus on the emotions and everything else is going to be fine. If you're going to work on yourself, you got to work on all aspects of yourself. But emotions are key to this, because it's one thing I think one of the things that's most overlooked in the process of making yourself the best you can be. I mean, you need to focus on the emotional, the intellectual, the spiritual, the physical. And you need to work on all of them equally. Not all at once. No, pick one area, I'd say. Start with one area first, whatever resonates with you at the time. If you try to take it on all at once, you're going to fail, because you'll be taking too much weight on your shoulders. But the emotions, I think, is key, because once you can start opening up to your emotions, I think then you are more able to deal with your traumas, because dealing with your traumas is an extremely emotional experience. It is a process of delving into your emotions, because when you have an emotion, particularly a negative emotion, there's usually something behind that besides just the moment you're in. Especially like if you're prone to anger, quick anger, that's trauma response generally. Maybe the person you're angry at the moment doesn't have anything to do with that trauma, but the fact that you're getting angry, that means that you need to question, you need to delve deep and ask yourself, why am I getting angry? Maybe the answer may seem obvious on surface level. Well, he disrespected me. That's not a reason to get angry at somebody. You need to delve deeper, because there's a more deep-rooted answer than that. It's a trauma response. Something happened to you when you were younger to make you think that you have to respond like that. That's just one example. Carl Jung, the famous psychologist, talks about shadow work. And I think this is a really good place for you guys to start if you want to really start getting into rooting up all that negativity and become your best, most authentic self. Because the thing is if you don't incorporate your emotions, if you don't make peace with those, and you don't honor those, you'll never be authentic. The greatest men I've truly known in my life, and there weren't too many of them, not the ones I idolized growing up, not the tough stoic kind who fight their way to everything. No, I'm talking about real men. Men who did honor their emotions, men who are good fathers because of this. Those men, crap, I forgot what I was going to say again, folks, I'm sorry. ADHD brain. What was I talking about? Well, I don't know. It'll come to me in another video if it's important. I'm kind of just winging it because I'm trying to be more authentic in the way I express myself. And I find that if I write this stuff out and I pre-plan everything, then I'm not being as authentic as I can be. But guys, you can be better. I'm not saying you're bad, but I'm saying you can be better. We can all be better. We can all grow. I'm constantly growing. And I've achieved milestones in my life that I never would have imagined possible. I wouldn't even imagine that these milestones even existed. But they've enabled me to step forward in my day-to-day life in a way that makes me able to look at that man in the mirror and smile and genuinely say, I love you, man. Never been able to say that before. Not genuinely. And it reflects in the way other people treat me now. Never before was I really genuinely treated with respect by others. Now I am. It's a mutual thing. And that's made life so much more golden. I used to get social anxiety, or I get mad easy. Or I was always focused on putting on this tough exterior. And now I just let all that go. And now I'm so relaxed and I actually enjoy, for the most part, being around people. I certainly don't have any social anxieties anymore. Certainly don't have any confidence issues anymore. I can honestly say now I'm successful in every area of my life, except for financial, but financial's coming soon. That's in the works. But in the most important ways, I am successful. I am rich. I am abundant. I've got physical health. I've got emotional health. I've got mental health. These are not things I could claim a year ago. If I can do it, guys, you can do it. I was the guy that everybody said would never do it. I was the one that was called the loser. I was the one that was always underestimated. I was the one that was picked on. And I was that way for almost 5 decades. So if I can turn it around, turn all that around, complete 180, after 5 decades, you guys can do it at any point in time in your life. Even if you're older than me, you can do it. Granted, the older you are, the more trauma, more than likely, you'll have to uproot and deal with, but I wouldn't really look at the amount you have to deal with it, because the amount it really is irrelevant. Don't ever compare yourself to someone else. That's one of the first lessons I learned on this journey. Anyway, men, I love you guys. I hope you got something from this. Till next time.